Let's talk about health. It's sweeping across everyone now. There's run clubs popping up. Fitness is trending again. People are getting in shape more now than ever before. But what I've wondered, if you were perfectly healthy, but no one knew your habits, no Strava, no stats, no kudos, no way of mentioning it to people at all, would people still do the things they do to stay fit? Or is the wellness routine just a way to validate yourself or get external validation from other people? Is it something we've ingrained in society that we need to be showing these things, or would you still do it even if no one saw it? So my first question is, why does being healthy feel like a moral obligation?
If you are healthier, you live longer and you have a better quality of life. These two things feel like when everyone actively avoids death on a day-to-day basis, unless you're, say, an 18 to 50-year-old man, you avoid death on a daily basis. So it feels like a moral obligation because, like, why would I deliberately drive myself closer to death?
So being healthy feels like a moral obligation because we have a reason, a discipline to look after ourselves. We only get one body, one mind. So healthy is staying active, eating well, not putting any substance in your body that shouldn't be there, having stimulating conversations, putting the right information inside your brain rather than scrolling. So health really encompasses quite a lot of things. But it's this idea of trying to stay healthy. Where this jumps to when I was doing my research is, have you heard of healthism?
No.
It's a cultural belief that health is primarily a personal responsibility and that being healthy is a moral virtue. So it's this rise of healthism and personal responsibility. So it's now placing the responsibility onto the individual, ignoring factors like genetics, environment, socio-economical status. But let's talk about health. Is there a pressure for people to feel like they need to be healthy now, do you think?
I think so. I think maybe you said about putting the right information in your brain. I think actually doom scrolling has helped with people seeing so many people in good shape and then wanting to get there themselves. Or they've been, meal prepping. Like, meal prepping is a huge thing online. It's like, I'm just doing my meals for the week. And it's entertaining content, you know. You want to see, wow, that's a massive pan of pasta, you know. People get excited about it because there's something attractive about doing things en masse, which is why we like recording loads of episodes, you know. So the idea of like meal prepping and then having a good body and going to the gym and getting in a routine, there's something really appealing about that. And I think it's the doom scrolling that sort of helped push people towards like, I could have that routine. Like, they're not doing anything that seems so far out of reach because it's in a domestic kitchen. It's like, it's in a gym they haven't got all the equipment they need, but they've got most of it, and therefore it's good enough.
So we've almost raised 2 points. First one being doom scrolling. Both that's a negative because we've done episodes on scrolling and social media worth listening to. But it's that constant immediate dopamine. Not good. Pacifying people, not good. However, the content one can consume is now, because health is one of the most trending topics now at the moment. You can see meal preps, workout plans, run clubs everywhere, which is great because it inspires that, but it also can have an element of comparison in there. But the element you're suggesting is being healthy is on the rise because now it's displayed across multi-generations and multi-countries and nationalities, whereas before it might have been you knew one or two people that went to the gym and, you know, they kept to themselves, they went on a run club, whereas now it's like it's here, it's in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in your home.
It is, yeah. And you're surrounded by, like you say, good recipes you can follow, workout plans you can stay in shape with. So this responsibility then gets thrown at you to be healthy. You know, you should be eating well. You should be working out. You should be going for walks. And it almost gets thrown at you. So The second point I wanted to jump off of is almost like we treat health as a virtue. Like a healthy lifestyle is often equated to being a good person, whether it's true or not. But you make that assumption, don't you? Someone that goes to the gym regularly clearly shows they've got discipline. Someone that eats well surely shows that they respect themselves.
They're a model citizen.
Do you think that is true?
I do. I think the most compelling influence in your life is watching somebody else do the thing. It's like when kids watch superhero movies, they're all like jumping around the lounge doing like flying kicks and things. It's because they're interested and compelled to do it because they've seen it. And I think that continues into adult life, but obviously not doing flying kicks around the room because most of us would get injured. But things like watching meal prep and watching people work out, it's like, I can do 20 press-ups. Let's do that.
Do you think it's more subtle then, this sort of implanting into people's minds through social media?
Yep.
I wonder it depends on what content they're consuming as well, because there's definitely some content which is so in your face of like David Goggins, be better, work harder. You know, there's an interview where he's with Chris Williamson and he's like, what do you say to the person that says, oh, I'm always too tired and I just can't make time? And David Goggins like, keep talking. And Chris goes on and he's like, that fires me up, man. All these people that make these excuses, you know, it's like, they're not competition, I'm gonna win. Like, it fires me up.
Yeah.
So there's one side, but then there's the, you know, like, you're perfect the way you are, let's like build together. But I wonder as well the downside of this being a good person, because there's now polarity there, that there is people posting their shopping hauls online and then fitness influencers rinsing them, saying how unhealthy they are and the food they're buying is appalling. So it's created this polarity almost as well.
I think we've said before, for every culture, there's always a counterculture. And I would hope that there's more people leaning towards the healthy side. The thing is, I think the West is so different to everywhere else in the world because here we just have abundance, which is sort of crazy when you compare it to like other parts of the world that aren't in as fortunate position. So the idea that we would make decisions that make us unhealthy is just crazy to the village in Japan where everyone lives, you know, for 100 years and is really healthy and has solid community and all of that. Like, it's just wild that we champion people who deliberately do things to themselves that are unhealthy. At the same time, humans are interested in the extremes. It's like the negative stuff sells better than the positive stuff. Therefore, if you watch somebody do something like, I think that's actually why the show Super Size versus Super Skinny did so well, because it was on the extremes. It was like, and now what we're going to do is we're going to swap meals. So the skinny person is going to try and eat 8 large supersized McDonald's meals, and the fat person is going to eat, I don't know, maybe half a slice of bread. It's like the contrast there is so massive. And what you can do with extremes on social media is you see like either the meal preppers that are super serious about health and having everything right, and then you see the other people which are like, this is my shopping haul for the week. I spent $2,000 on my weekly shop and it's just all rubbish. It's like, that's entertaining content. And the problem is the more you watch it, the more influenced you are by it. So if you watch more of the, I'm going to buy unhealthy stuff, you'll see people eating more unhealthy stuff. If you see more people making healthy foods and healthy life choices, more people will do that.
It's interesting the effect it can have on people, because of all of that is to some degree surface level. Because we don't see the stories behind. We don't see personal people's relationship with food, and we don't see their socio-economical status as well. Have you ever heard of food deserts?
No.
So food deserts are low-income, often underserved areas with limited access to affordable, nutritious, and fresh food, such as like fruit and vegetables. There's areas in the US where the nearest supermarket is miles away, but the nearest gas station with frozen pizzas, like ready meals, is couple of miles. So those are what you would sort of understand as food deserts. Like the research indicates in the UK, about 1 in 10 deprived areas are food deserts, with examples in places like Manchester, Hull, and Glasgow. In the US, however, 12.8% of the population was reported to live in low-income, low-access areas. So there's definitely sides of the story which are not just blanket. There's not just, yes, everyone should look after their health. Everyone should eat healthy. Well, yes, that's true, but it doesn't take into account the nuances. But let's talk about this idea of health. Where I land on this is if someone doesn't take care of their health, they've missed a key pillar in their life. To not take care of your body and your mind, I don't get. You could be a millionaire, you could be financially sound, you could have a thriving family, but if you've not taken care of your health, I think you've missed a key important nuance of life, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I am that person, I prioritize building my business over my health. I think when we first started the podcast, I was like, I'd freshly blown up after 3 and a bit years of basically solid work on just my business, not really caring about my health because the business came first. And now I'm starting to do a bit of both. And I'm actually starting to feel the benefits. Like I don't get out of breath walking upstairs, for example, which is nice. But it's little things like, because health is such a gradual thing as well. You don't go one day being able to, I don't know, run up and down stairs and the next day you can't. It's a gradual process of one day you just realize, hang on a second, I just ran up the stairs and I can't breathe. Like that's a massive problem. But then it takes you months to actually get the fitness back to then.
Getting healthy is a constant investment, as is trying to be unhealthy. That's a constant investment. You've got to choose which investment you want to make. And it's the delayed gratification. You won't see the outcome of the choices you make until years down the line.
Yeah.
So let's talk about societal and economical pressures of this idea of being healthy and it being a moral obligation. Let's look at, say, the NHS. And this isn't a judgment on anyone. This is more just an observation. People that maybe have not looked after their health, are slightly overweight, put more pressure onto the healthcare service in the UK and around the world because their needs are more complex. So this idea of it being a moral obligation is, well, if you want to look after the society that you're brought up in, it's a good idea to maybe look after yourself.
Yeah.
You become less of a burden on the society and the people around you.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's the same as smokers. It's like if you smoke, then you're just going to end up taking a hospital bed that maybe somebody who's lived 20 years longer than you or was born 20 years later then needs the hospital bed because they're older. And you're going to be taking that bed because, you haven't looked after yourself. It's you're almost filling up the pipeline earlier than you should do.
Yeah, agreed. The idea of smoking to me is wild.
Yeah, vaping's where it's at.
If you say so. What about this idea of like fat shaming or societal norms? It promotes conformity, but then promotes judgment as well.
I think you should fat shame.
Do you think?
I don't think it's acceptable to be fat. Like, you've got all the resources you need to be healthy. Therefore, why wouldn't you be healthy?
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate with you. What about those that live in food deserts?
Go hunting.
What if hunting's not available to them, just based on the area they live?
I mean, it's a toughie, but you can always move down. Like, it's a food desert for a reason. It's probably in a desert for a start. Miles away from food.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I'm like, the image I've got in my mind is like because you said the gas station, I'm like, okay, well, this is on like, there's a big main road. It's really only really a transitional town.